as I mentioned earlier at the beginning, I'm about to become an entrepreneur of a new business, and anyone who's owned their own business knows that it's like
Yes.
you work harder than when you work for somebody else, right? So there's going to be work. So the challenge that comes up for me is to remain mindful of what you're saying right here. I mean, like you mentioned, I'm a 9, but this applies to all of us.
Right.
To make sure that I still take the time, the space to check in, to connect with the heart, make sure that every step along the way I am doing what um, is a reflection of authentic me, and to listen to that. And that creates that idea of the holy harmony in all areas of my life. And it's easy to lose sight of that, especially when, back to earlier things you said, we don't trust that there's more than enough, that I am more than enough, and that we will be taken care of. I always say to people, God's gonna meet you at the point of your need, not before, because you don't need it before,
Yeah.
and we got to trust that.
Yeah, I so appreciate you using yourself as an example because I think it's helpful for anyone when I'm telling people here, oh, you don't have to be a 3 for this to be relevant, right? But
Right.
let me, as you were sharing, it struck me that herein might lie the distinction. Like if someone's a type 3, they can lose themselves in the goal, like the ends, right? And
Right.
so in that, like authentic being of like, who am I and what did I want in the first place gets lost. But for a 9, it might be just subtly different. Like in that, if Ogun didn't take the time that morning, he might actually reach the goal because he'd be spinning around doing
Exactly.
distracting things because he
Exactly.
wasn't centered in his own truth
Exactly.
around right action, right?
Yes.
The virtue of the 9. So for different reasons, you would spin, but there's this sense of making space for what is true within you, and that actually then action has a greater flow, less efforting to it, but there's a greater authenticity to
Yeah.
it of like an integrity of being within it. So beautiful. Thank you.
And in a
So,
sense, when we talk about these holy virtues, that's what we're talking about, the authentic self. And
yes.
and not just living from it, but designing our life that that reflects the authentic self, is in alignment with, and not almost, but reinforces the authentic self. Harmony.
Yes.
Everything is in line with each other.
That's all you want, Ogun. Harmony. I was kidding.
Harmony. That's all I ever want.
Let everything be aligned.